November 29, 1970. In a remote valley just outside Bergen, Norway, a father and his two daughters stumble upon a sight that would haunt the country for decades. There, among the cold rocks of Isdalen Valley, lies the badly burned body of a woman. No identification, her face charred beyond recognition. Around her, bizarre objects are scattered: sleeping pills, petrol-soaked belongings, and mysterious coded notes. No one knows her name, no one ever came forward. Who was the Isdal Woman? A spy? A criminal? Or a ghost written out of history? It was a cold Sunday afternoon when the father and daughters hiked through Isdalen, a foggy, forested valley known for its grim past. The area had long been nicknamed Death Valley due to its history of suicides and tragic accidents. They were off the beaten path when the smell hit them: burned flesh and chemicals. Looking down a small slope, they saw something shocking: a human body lying in a strange, twisted position between blackened rocks. Police arrived quickly. What they found didn't make sense. The woman's front was completely charred, but her back was untouched by flames. Her arms were frozen in an eerie, almost defensive position. Nearby were scattered items: empty bottles of sleeping pills, a partially burned passport, a broken umbrella, and fur-lined clothing. But none of it told them who she was. The autopsy only deepened the mystery. The woman had died from a combination of carbon monoxide poisoning and an overdose of sleeping pills. At least 50 were found in her system. Yet, strangely, there was no sign of soot in her lungs, suggesting she may have been dead before the fire started. Her face and front were so badly burned they couldn't identify her through dental records. Her fingerprints led nowhere. No missing persons report matched her description. Worse, all the labels on her clothes had been carefully removed. Even her cosmetics and toothbrush had no branding. Whoever she was, she, or someone, had gone to great lengths to hide her identity. Just days later, a lead surfaced. Investigators traced a luggage tag and found 2 suitcases belonging to the woman at the Bergen railway station. Inside was a treasure trove of cryptic clues. There were wigs, elegant clothes, prescription-free glasses, notebooks with strange letter and number combinations, and a postcard of an Italian landmark. But again, every label had been removed, and the handwriting in the notebook? It turned out to be a travel code. Places and dates, possibly her movements across Europe. There was also Belgian and German currency. No clear passport, but hotel receipts across Norway and beyond. She had stayed under at least 8 different aliases. The police began tracking her aliases. Over several months in 1970, the woman had traveled across Norway, staying in high-end hotels under false names. Witnesses described her as elegant, mysterious, sometimes speaking German, sometimes French. She often requested a balcony and insisted on changing rooms. Hotel staff noted that she always paid in cash. She kept to herself. Some said she wore wigs. Others remembered heavy makeup. No one could figure out where she came from. She spoke with a vague pan-European accent. Some believed she was Eastern European. Others were convinced she was Belgian. She left almost no trace, except for a trail of subtle disguises and false names. As the mystery deepened, the spy theory emerged. Norway, in 1970, was a strategic point during the Cold War. NATO operations, secret tests, and surveillance bases dotted the landscape. Some of the Isdal Woman's travels had coincided with secret military activity, including missile tests. Her coded notebook, disguises, and evasive travel behavior fueled the speculation. Could she have been a Soviet spy? A Western double agent? Or part of a more obscure intelligence network? The Norwegian intelligence service denied any involvement. But documents later revealed that surveillance agencies had, in fact, shown interest in the case, suggesting more than they admitted. The case quickly went cold in the early 1970s. With no identity and no official leads, the file was quietly closed. The Isdal woman was buried in an unmarked grave in Bergen, in a zinc coffin, to preserve the body in case she was ever identified. But the public never forgot. Over the decades, journalists, amateur detectives, and even artists tried to piece the story together. Each theory brought more questions than answers. In the 1990s and 2000s, renewed attention brought the case back into headlines. A national podcast, media specials, and even the BBC took an interest. DNA evidence was tested. Forensic artists created a digital reconstruction of her face. But even science couldn't give her a name. Modern forensic teams confirmed that the woman had likely grown up in Central or Eastern Europe. Her enamel and bones suggested she was born around 1930. Her diet and dental work pointed to regions around Germany, France, or Poland. Still, no match in global databases. No family ever came forward. Some believed she was an assassin. Others thought she had been a courier for sensitive information. A few believed she had discovered something she wasn't supposed to and was silenced. There were also theories that she had taken her own life, carefully orchestrated to look mysterious. But who goes to such elaborate lengths to disappear? The composite image of the Isdal woman, recreated from bone structure and witness descriptions, shows a woman in her 30s or 40s. Striking, determined, guarded. Her story remains unsolved. Her name, her origins, her purpose, still a blank page in one of Europe's strangest unsolved cases. In a world of cameras, databases, and surveillance, it's hard to believe that someone could simply vanish into fire and shadows. Yet the Isdal woman did. We may never truly know who she was. But what if she wasn't alone on that mountainside? What if someone helped her disappear, or made her disappear? A second presence, a missing accomplice, an unknown mission. The mystery of the Isdal woman might not be the end of a story, but the beginning of one. More than 50 years later, Norway's greatest mystery endures. Was she a spy, a fugitive, a woman escaping her past, or a victim of something far darker? We may never know, but her silence continues to echo in the cold valleys of Isdalen. What do you believe happened to the Isdal woman? Leave your theory in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more chilling true crime mysteries.